We now turn our focus to children's health and safety. A new study published in the journal Current finds half of parents do not believe that tackle football is an appropriate sport for children. Paul Gerke is live at Astoria Park in Queens, a beautiful waterfront turf field where they host youth games. He has a look at what's making parents so concerned about the game. Paul?
Good morning, Adrienne. That survey had more than 400 questions on it, but it's the answer to that one about America's de facto pastime that was really interesting. The data shows that fewer and fewer parents are allowing their kids to step on fields like this one in Astoria Park to play tackle football. They're worried about injuries, especially concussions.
I started playing football back in 5th grade, organized youth football. Big deal here in Opelika, Alabama.
Derek Sistrunk played linebacker at Jacksonville State. Now he's tackling fatherhood, raising 10-year-old twin boys.
One is so excited about playing football, and another one is like, don't want to play it.
Mason loves the sport. He's been playing since he was 5.
A great athlete, and he get it. He loved tackle football.
But his brother Carter,
well, my other son, he don't like contact.
It's a dilemma for Derek, who understands better than most the benefits of tackle football, but he also understands the risks.
Yeah, so increasingly, we've really become aware that tackle football can have devastating effects on people's lives, especially with regards to concussion.
So does Chris Canuster, Associate Professor of Sociology at Ohio State University. He's the co-author of a new study that shows Americans are unsure about whether their kids should play the game. Nearly 4,000 adults were asked to rate the following statement: tackle football is an appropriate sport for kids to play, using a 1 to 4 scale, with 1 being strongly disagree and 4 being strongly agree. 45% agreed, 50% disagreed. The other 5% didn't know. The results corroborate data that shows participation in tackle football is declining, most rapidly among kids ages 6 through 12, whose participation rate dropped more than 20% from 2008 to 2018.
So not only have we seen and become more aware of devastating consequences, but we've seen really a change in how medical professionals talk about football and advocate for football. That is generally discouraging tackling prior to the age of 13. Now, we could see a future, and some public scholars have argued that we will, where football is no longer the most popular sport in America. In fact, maybe people think that it's too dangerous to even play much at all.
As for the former collegiate linebacker,
I'm for it, and I say I'm not for it. I'm for it when you got your child that's in the 90, 85 percentile as growing. I'm not for it when you push on your son that's 5, 6-year-old and weigh 30 pounds. If your kid want to play, let them play, but don't force it. Don't force it.
the survey purposefully left the word kids undefined. Also of note, Adrienne, our social, political, and religious backgrounds do have an influence over what we think about tackle football. Heterosexual, white males who are not college educated are much more likely to appreciate the game than their counterparts. Adrienne?
All right, thank you so much. For more on all of this, we want to bring in our guest, Senator Tommy Tuberville, Republican from Alabama. He spent decades as a college football coach, which is an interesting note here, at schools like Ole Miss, Texas Tech, Cincinnati, and was head coach at Auburn University for 11 years. So, Senator, first we have to ask you about this football story. 50% of Americans are believing kids should not play tackle football. What are your thoughts?
It should be 100%. I've never been for kids that are not 12, 13, 14 years old of playing contact football. It's ridiculous. First of all, you have to have good coaches to teach kids to do this, and most of the time it's parents, and they don't have the skills or know the skills to teach a kid how to properly use the right technique to keep their head up, keep their head out of tackling, keep their head out of blocking. So I've always given advice to parents when they ask me, listen, wait till they get to junior high, make sure you have good coaches, make sure you have good supervision, but definitely not little small kids. It makes no difference, it makes no sense. Let them play touch football, flag football. I think that's just as appropriate.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.